Baseball Hall of Famer and probably unconventional humorist Yogi Berra once said, "If you don't know where you're going, you're gonna end up someplace else." That's kind of how I feel about where I was last week. Someplace I wasn't supposed to be. But I'm back, and I'm here to talk to you about where I am now. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? My name is Dave Connery. I'm an artist designer based in Long Beach, California, and yes, that is exactly where I am right now. But last week, I was here, but I wasn't here. In fact, I wasn't here last week at all, which I apologize about, but let me back this up just a bit. Since COVID started in March, we've been holed up here in the house, and we've had things to do. My son has been homeschooling, my wife has been doing work things, I have been doing my own work things, we had schedules, everything was great. And then summertime hit, and my son was out of school, but we still had lots of things. I had an anniversary, it was Father's Day, it was his birthday, we had things that we were doing. But last week, I didn't have anything. And because I didn't have anything going on, I felt like the whole week was a blur. I felt like it was just moving past me faster than I could even imagine. At a certain point, I didn't even know what day it was. It was Friday, and I thought it was Thursday one minute and Saturday the next. I was totally out of sorts. What made it worse is that I felt like the more I thought about that, the more I continued to consider that I didn't know what was going on, the deeper hole I got in about not knowing what was going on. It's this weird kind of cyclical thing that kind of forced me into this space where I was like, if I don't pull myself out of this fast, it's gonna be a problem. So I put down the phone, I closed the laptop, I turned off all the other electronics, and I went analog. I went into the book, not just to draw some stuff, but to actually outline what I'm gonna do next. What is the thing that's gonna get me to the next station, to the next point, to the next milestone? Because what I was doing was working sorta, but it wasn't going to sustain me. And if last week was any sign of that, then I know that it just wasn't gonna happen. So I needed to change things up. I needed to shift how I was focusing my energy. Now, I talked about this before where I was thinking about how I'm going to redirect the stuff that I do. I'm going to, instead of focus on not just focus on just big art pieces and not just focus on big design projects, I'm going to focus on maybe making some smaller stuff, like some merchandise or some things, or whatever things means, smaller art pieces, smaller design pieces, just so that I have a whole bevy of stuff, so that I can also put all of that bevy of stuff up into the website. I'm very gestural right now, so get with it. I wanted to put all of that stuff up onto my Shopify page so that I could have plenty of stuff to have for folks like you to buy. If you wanted to buy stuff, don't have to buy stuff, but you can. I will put a link in the description to where I sell the stuff that you could buy. Breathe, Dave. So I'm going to talk about the new plan, but before I talk about the new plan, if you could do me a favor, if you are enjoying this video or any of the videos that I've done, please do me a favor. Like this video, comment below the things that you enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you want to do that, and and hit that bell if you want to keep up with all the stuff I'm doing. You can, don't have to, but you can, and that would be cool. Oh, and share it with a friend. Okay, so the plan is really quite simple, and it comes down to 4 letters. In fact, I'm calling it the MIST plan. It's not the best acronym in the world, but it's working for me. M stands for make things, because I gotta make things in order to have things for people to buy. The I stands for inspire. Inspire people to do the same thing. I am overjoyed when somebody says to me, Dave, you inspired me to get back in front of the canvas. You inspired me to start to work on a new design project. You inspired me to do the different things. That makes me feel, I love that. I love when people come to me and say things like that. It's the best reward on top of getting paid for my work. It is the best reward aside from that. The S stands for share, and that means share it everywhere I can, as often as I can. But there's a caveat to that, and I'll get to that in a minute. The T is to teach. Teach other people to do what I do. Whether it's how to do this, how to do this, how to do anything. Teach people how to do what I do so that they can go do it themselves and maybe go do more stuff, and they can go and make money off of their stuff too. Let's get paid together. So now there's a lot to unpack there, right? Especially when it comes to the making and the sharing. The making and the sharing are the key things here that most people are concerned with. Got to make the stuff, got to share the stuff, so that other people want to come buy the stuff. The thing is, though, with me is that I am really questioning where I want to spend my energy. Where I'm going to spend my energy on the creative work, where I'm going to spend my energy on the places that I share and how I share. Because for me personally, there's certain places that I hang out that I don't really enjoy so much anymore, that I don't want to be so much anymore. Like, let's put it this way. Facebook, I'm not digging you anymore at all. Facebook, WhatsApp, I have a tenuous relationship with Instagram. Number one, they don't give me any joy to be there. Number two, I'm not really getting much attention from them anymore. And number three, there's the insidious Mark Zuckerberg stuff that I just can't get with anymore. I'm still on the Instagram. I'm still there. I may not be there for long. I don't know yet because I just don't get the value from it as much as I do on other places. Like YouTube, like TikTok, even a little bit from Twitter because I get actual interaction from people on Twitter. As much as Twitter is kind of like a weird beast to me too, I get interaction from people there, and that's cool. The other things I want to be spending my energy on are, of course, making art, making design products, and engaging people, talking to you guys. That is ultimately where I want to spend the majority of my time, making things and talking to human beings. But because I have so much stuff to do and I need to pack that into different days worth of timelines, and also, I still got to add the family stuff, the kids stuff, all the other things that I do, I got to bring all of that in together. So I definitely have to be treating all of this with care and understanding of like what is a realistic calendar, what is a realistic timeline for me to take care of this stuff. So I need to figure out what that schedule is so that I can figure out where all of these things go. So I get things out in a timely manner and I'm not crunched like I am right now doing this video on a Sunday night so that I can get it to you on a Monday morning. Yeah, that's actually gonna happen. I'm kicking myself for it, but I'm here for a reason. But here's the thing. Before I can actually make that calendar, before I can say what goes on Monday, what goes on Tuesday, what goes on Wednesday, I need to understand 3 important things about myself. 3 important things about how I'm going to progress from this point forward. Number 1, anytime I do any kind of creative thing, if I'm working on something, I'm going to try and record it. If I'm working on a design, I'm going to try and screen grab it. If I'm working on something right here at my table where I do my art stuff, I'm going to try and record it so that you guys get some sort of sense of the process of everything that I do. Number 2, when I create that stuff, use it in different places like here on YouTube or on TikTok or wherever, but then figure out ways to repurpose it for other places. So if I make something for YouTube, how can I repackage that so it does go onto TikTok well? How can I repackage it so it does go onto Instagram? If I do happen to share something on Twitter, how does it work for that? If I want to cut it apart and maybe sparse it out over a long period of time of different segments for different things, how does that work? I've got to figure out how to repurpose all of the stuff that I create so that I can keep sharing it over and over and over. Number 3, which is really the big one, it's not about how much stuff I make. It's not about making all the things all the time, constantly. It's more about being choosy about the things I make and just documenting as much of that as I possibly can so that I can share it as many places as I can. More quality, less quantity. And I'm okay with that because one thing I've understood is that I don't care how many things I put up in my shop, the things that hit, the things that connect you to me are the ones that sell the best. I don't have my Do the Work mug here with me right now, but if I did, you would know that that is the thing that most people buy. I'll put a link to it in the description. Most people buy that mug because it is one of the things that they are connected to the most. Of course, they buy other things, but that thing sells the best, hands down. That mug keeps me in salad for the entire month. I don't eat that much salad, but I eat enough. So now that I know, number 1, the different things that I need to do. The making, the inspiring, the sharing, and the teaching. If anything I'm doing doesn't fall within the realm of those 4 things, then should I be spending my time on it? And the second part of that is the 3 things. Like if I am doing anything, number 1, am I making sure that I'm recording it? Number 2, am I making sure that I have ways to repurpose it? Number 3, am I making sure that I'm doing quality over quantity? So now if I have all of those things in check, I can create the framework for the week. I can say, I know what I need to do on Mondays or Tuesdays and Wednesdays or whatever. Now I know, like very specifically, the timelines and the need for the quality and the need for content for the different places. Yeah. There was supposed to be something following that thought up, but it was just like, I don't know, it just fell right off a cliff. The real point being here, folks, is that if you want to get anywhere with any of the projects that you're working on, then you really need to make sure you have a good sight on where you're headed. You need to have a plan and figure out how you're going to get from here to there, and you need to execute on that plan. You can't just sit here and plan. I could sit here and write these notes for days and days and days into this book, but if I don't do anything about it, then it's not going to do me any good. I'm planning for the sake of creating busy work for myself so it feels like I'm doing something, but I'm not actually doing anything. So let's get back to making, inspiring, sharing, and teaching. Now, what about you? What are you making? What are you inspiring people to do? What are you sharing with everybody? Or what are you teaching somebody? Comment below and tell me what of those things you're doing. If not all of them, then one. Tell me. I want to know what you're up to. Or if you have any questions about any of the things I'm up to, then hit me up in the comments still. And while you're headed down there, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're first here. And then hit that bell, because you never want to miss a thing. If you came here looking for the Affinity stuff or the Shopify stuff and you see me talking about inspiration and all this other stuff, hey, welcome to my channel. Thanks for hanging out, guys. It's hot in the shed, so I'm going to go back inside and edit this video so you have it in the morning. Remember, be good today, be better tomorrow. See ya. Somebody get me a towel.